So hey, I'm finally doing another quarterly review. It's something I really enjoyed with Orimiya, and I figured I wanted to do more of it this time. So I'm bringing it back today with the first episodes of Yashahime Season 2. Now look, I know what you all might be saying. Yashahime is definitely going to be more than 12 episodes, so your title doesn't make any sense. So, here's the deal. When I started quarterly review, I was thinking more along the lines of being a quarter of the season that the anime aired in. And with most shows being 12 or so episodes long, it just kind of worked out well. That said, I'm generally going to mean the episodes within the first quarter of the season. You all good with that explanation? Well, I hope so, because that's the one you're going to be getting. Anyways, with all that said, I'm going to give you all my quarterly review on the first 3 episodes of Yashahime's second season today. And if you all like that, you'll be happy to know that starting tomorrow, I'm going to be reviewing the episodes weekly. That's right. You're getting all the demon-based anime reviews these next few months. So, with all that said, let's just hop right into the quarterly review. So, where do I even begin with Yashahime? So much happened at the end of Season 1. We learned about the Rainbow Pearls, Kirinmaru, more about the Great Dog Demon Toga, Inuyasha and Kagome got sealed away in the original Black Pearl, and Rin is sealed in the Tree of Ages. Oh, and Toa and Moroha gave a super badass fight to Kirinmaru towards the end. But one of our favorite twins, Setsuna, died. Or did she? Well, on the very last episode of Season 1, Sesshomaru gives Toa the Tenseiga blade. Unfortunately, the Tenseiga was broken by Zero towards the end of the last season. And as far as we can see right now, it is unusable, essentially making it impossible for Setsuna to come back to life. Sesshomaru hands the broken Tenseiga to Toa though, due to her ability to garner her demon energy into a blade. With her demon energy, she is able to put all of it into the Tenseiga and bring her sister back from the dead with just a single stroke. While Toa was gathering energy into the Tenseiga though, Totosai, the creator of the Tenseiga, shows up, and decides to repair Setsuna's Naginata, which had been broken in the previous battle with Kirinmaru. With that, a bunch of demons show up, and Moroha must fend off those demons as best as she can. Toa, out of energy, begins to fall, and then out of nowhere, Big Daddy Sesh comes and saves her and pretty much catches her before she falls. I love the fact that he does this because it shows he really does care for his girls. Finally, the Naginata is repaired, and Sesshomaru goes up to both his daughters, who are both on the ground, and puts his hand on both their faces. He then says, "Setsuna." With those words, Setsuna wakes up and she slays all the demons around her. Totosai then states, you have a long way to go before mastering that Naginata, and that Toa should find a Kyoken root so she too can have a fighting chance against the demon Kirinmaru. They are told to find an individual by the name of Bakuseno, and with that, the episode comes to an end. Shortly after though, we get the ending track. And I gotta say, every single ending that we've had in Yashahime so far has slapped. Don't get me wrong, the openings were okay, but I just particularly enjoy the endings more. So, I initially didn't want to give too much of a recap of Season 1 for this quarterly review, because the first episode of Season 2 does a great job of showcasing everything that happens. Season 2, in my opinion, really started off great with everything that happens. We got to see Sesshomaru be present with his daughters, and we can be extremely grateful that Setsuna survived the battle with Kirinmaru. Not gonna lie, if anything would have happened to her, I would be extremely heartbroken. Because I honestly really do like these 3 girls. They're amazing protagonists. Setsuna is a lot like Sesshomaru, Toa is definitely a lot like Rin, and I adore the love she has for her sister. And Moroha, as we all know, is pretty much like an equal balance of both Kagome and Inuyasha. At first, Toa and Setsuna's relationship was a tad rocky, and I'm really happy that we are starting to see that sisterly love between these two, especially with how Setsuna is starting to open up. The love all 3 of these girls have for each other is honestly just so damn wholesome, because we see Inuyasha and Sesshomaru have a very rocky relationship back in Inuyasha. You also gotta remember at one point, Sesshomaru wanted to kill Inuyasha for the Tenseiga, and now their daughters are working together to defeat their family's greatest rival. You love to see it. So yeah, fantastic start for Season 2. Let's hop into Episode 2 now. In the second episode, it's sort of a fillerish episode, but pretty much the premise of it is, there's a female sea serpent demon who would protect people out on the sea. She fell in love with a human man she once saved. He too showed the same love, but his love didn't reach the sea demon in time. She would go and spy on this man fishing, as she couldn't contain her love for him. She disguised herself as a sea snake, but little did she know, sea snakes to these fishermen were thought to be the death of the fisherman who went out to sea. The fisherman, angered by seeing this sea snake, slash off the serpent's head without any kind of hesitation. This event that transpired would then anger the sea serpent demon, turning her into a crazed demon and pretty much petrifying all these fishermen, including her beloved. This sea serpent used to be a beautiful demon with very long ravishing hair. Losing herself to the anger though, caused her to start hating and killing human women that had long hair. Toa, hearing about this, immediately worries about Setsuna because that's pretty much her description. Setsuna and Moroha are both out searching for leads on Bakuseno, the demon that can help the girls locate a Kyokan root for Toa's blade. Turns out the demon, Watatsumi no Tamahi, or the long-hair women killer, may know something about Bakuseno. Eventually, Setsuna and Moroha both find this demon, and she leads them off in order to kill Setsuna. She is under the impression they are both humans though, having no idea they both have demon blood flowing in their veins. A feud then starts between Moroha, Setsuna, and the sea demon. Toa does show up and totally rocks these dope sunglasses in an attempt to not look at the sea serpent. Looking at the sea demon will petrify the individual if not careful. But little do our three girls know, Riku is watching nearby and freezes the water near the sea demon, making it possible for our protagonists to finish the sea demon off. Setsuna, with her newly forged Yukari no Takekiri, is discovering the new powers this weapon possesses in response to the blood blade bestowed upon her father, Sesshomaru. As she focuses, a green glow surrounds Setsuna and her Naginata, as flashbacks between the sea demon and her beloved start to flash back. A red string-like piece of energy then appears, and just as Setsuna thinks about cutting it, she hears a voice telling her not to. The voice belonged to the sea demon's beloved, and he called on Setsuna to take him to the sea serpent. The human fisherman then sees his love, and finally communicates his true love for her, and immediately the sea demon reverts back to her previous beautiful self. The sea demon then makes her descent back into the water, and the episode has a very happy ending. Unfortunately though, being preoccupied with that little skirmish, the girls forget to ask about Bakuseno. But there's always next time. Though this episode was sort of fillerish, I still really liked it. One of the really good things that the Inuyasha series does is make the filler very wholesome, and I have to say, this episode definitely was. Plus we get to see the three girls get closer. Setsuna also seems to be really developing as we see her at the end of the show sympathy towards the sea demon serpent after Toa states she felt sorry for it. Setsuna is very tsundere, and I love that about her. But I also don't mind every once in a while seeing more wholesome compassion. So yeah, overall, really decent filler episode. I don't mind Yashahime and Inuyasha filler at all, honestly, because I just love the entire series as a whole. What really interests me though is Riku's love for Toa. I wonder how that's actually going to wind up. Heading into the last episode of this quarterly review, we are greeted with some hot information and a rewind back in time 14 years ago, back before Rin was sealed to the Tree of Ages. One of Yashahime's main antagonists, Zero, makes her appearance, and we find out more about Kirimaru's prophecy and how he is going to fall to half-demons. As a way to kill off half-demons, Zero does some really petty shit, and honestly, it makes me hate this bitch even more. She finds Rin humming the beautiful tune we hear whenever Setsuna is playing her violin. She wants only good fortune for her children like any mother would, but out of nowhere, Zero appears with her disguised name alias as she tells Rin about how she hates half-demons and humans who mate with demons. Zero puts a curse on Rin known as the Silver Scale Curse. Essentially, if Zero dies, Rin dies as well. And, to top it all off, disgusting silver scales grow on Rin's body after a period of time. So yeah, I hate Zero for doing this to Rin, because Rin is easily one of my favorite characters in this entire series. To stop the spreading of this curse and to freeze her from time, Jockin comes up with the idea to seal Rin in the Tree of Ages, along with also planting the dream butterfly on the Setsuna so Rin can dream and sleep. Now we know the real reason why Setsuna has the dream butterfly, and I'm pretty much okay with this, because it is for the sake of protecting Rin. I'm sure we all want Rin to meet her children, and for all of them to have a happy ending. Rin is a great mother. We see that she will do anything for her kids, even sacrificing her own life for them. We then learn that pretty much everything that has been happening has been for the sake of protecting Rin, even sealing Inuyasha and Kagome in the Black Pearl to Toga's grave. I want to say Sesshomaru does this to protect his brother and sister-in-law, but I don't know. You tell me down below. Shortly after, we pan over to our 3 female protagonists still in search of Bakuseno. Jiobe, the bounty collector, had told them about a lead. From there, Setsuna seems to have misplaced her violin? No. Actually, instead, 3 demons approach her and start to attack her. One demon has the green rainbow pearl. As she fights them, she actually manages to hit one of them. Riku appears though and kills all 3 of them at once, gaining the green pearl for himself while also still wanting to protect Toa. After this interesting ordeal, the 3 girls finally manage to find Bakuseno, the 2,000-year-old tree. We've actually seen Bakuseno in Inuyasha a few times. This tree has a lot of wisdom. We also get a little nostalgia trip with how he created the sheaths for both the Tenseiga and Tetseiga. From what we've seen in Inuyasha, these sheaths are pretty damn hefty. After, we head over to Zero's abode, and find out she's collecting the 7 pearls to acquire her old demon powers back. Riku had been ever so gracious to bring them back to her, and she wants to kill the 3 girls with these powers. Typical Zero. Shortly after, we learn about where to find the Kyokan root. The root can be found on Mount Masubi, the same exact mountain where the dream butterfly is supposed to be, and the root can be dug up from a demon spirit tree, not from Bakuseno himself. The Kyokan can take in demon energy and store it, and we come to find out that Kirinmaru actually fears this. We then get a little more backstory into Riku's life. 600 years ago, a battle had occurred between Kirinmaru and the Great Dog Demon. Toga had managed to slice off one of Kirinmaru's horns, and thus that horn is actually Riku. Through the eyes of Riku, Kirinmaru can hear and see everything Riku does. The entire time, Riku was oblivious to this. It's really sad because he sees himself as an abandoned piece of trash. Zero then tells Riku to pretty much F off, and then never come near her again. What an ass. The episode then cuts to the final bits, where we see the 3 girls head over to Mount Masubi. However, Bakuseno didn't quite tell them everything, and Setsuna finds out there is a barrier on the mountain. As they walk up to it, we have a cute exchange between Setsuna and Toa in regards to the dream butterfly. They love each other, and I find their relationship so freaking wholesome. I know I've repeated that like 5 times in this video, but I really do love how far they've both come in this series. Zero then makes another short appearance in attempting to absorb the rainbow pearls back into her. What she finds out about these is that the silver, gold, and red rainbow pearl actually have flashbacks and memories of all 3 girls, and she hates it. I gotta say, I love it. That's karma. The girls finally make their way to Mount Masubi, and then we see a girl sleeping. And that's the episode. It seems like we are finally starting to kick off this 2nd season with a lot of possibilities and speculation, and I love it. Plus I can't wait till Toa finds her blade using the power of the root. Anywho though, I love this episode once again as Zero got karma, and all the mysteries are starting to pile up. For example, who is this girl sleeping towards the end of the episode? We see her in the opening of season 2, so I'm assuming she is going to play a pretty decent role in this upcoming season. What do you guys think though? Let me know your thoughts down below. I also just wanted to be blunt. I'm aware that this will more than likely not garner in a lot of views. I really don't care about views at this point in time. I just love Yashahime. That and Inuyasha are my favorite anime of all time. So for the people that do watch this, thank you so much. Let's just sit down and enjoy this great series together. I will be doing reviews every Saturday morning from now on, starting tomorrow. So look forward to those.